You are now entering the world of a movie review. A world full of drama, joy, ridicule, movie spoilers, unpopular opinions, and adult humor for as far as the eye can see. Welcome to An Evening at the Movies.
Greetings, everybody, and welcome back to your favorite movie-based podcast. This is An Evening at the Movies, the podcast where we eat the stale popcorn, we drink the watered-down sodas, and we talk about all of our favorite movies and why we love them. So, um, before I introduce who's with me on the show today, because she's here always anyway, but I just want to remind everybody that you didn't miss an episode on new episode day. You're still getting it. It's just live on new episode day, and it will release as soon as I can get it uploaded. So no complaining to the host.
If you want to complain to somebody, you can blame your resident president of the United States and the government for shutting down, because that's why we're late, because my flight got canceled.
Yes. So
Blame
no
the orange Cheeto, not us.
Yes, but no politics on An Evening at the Movies. But fuck that piece of shit.
Yeah,
Um,
fuck that guy.
if you could not tell by the sound of the amazing voice coming through the interwebs, everybody say hello to the favorite co-hostess herself, back from California with no hangovers, but she was in the wine country,
That I
so
was.
and evidently she was soaking her
Corks.
feet in the pool.
Hey, I was. Sorry, I'm trying to share this everywhere. Yeah, I was soaking my feet in the pool, soaking my feet in the ocean. I was soaking some corks. It was a lovely time.
And putting away some bottles of
Yes.
define adult beverage.
Came home with 3 expensive bottles of wine. So that's okay. Went to Pismo Beach, got to make my I'm captain of the Pismo Beach disaster relief post. I was very excited about that. Anytime I can do a clueless moment or really make any movie reference in one of my social media posts, that's what I like to do. So it was a fun time, but yeah, our flight back got canceled and we didn't get back till late the next day. I mean, not late, but too late for me to do the podcast. So here we are. Ooh, and I just got a message that we're going to be able to see the Northern Lights again. Yay! I gotta go find a good spot though. Like the spot here last night wasn't as great. But for people that don't know, I'm in Texas and you never see the Northern Lights here, so it's pretty cool. I can't hear you. Casey is already crapping out on the audio. Isn't that nice? Good thing I'm here to keep you entertained.
It's not an episode of An Evening at the Movies if my audio doesn't crap out at least 5 times in the episode.
It's a true story.
So, with all of that said, though, last week we started off our very special 2 week Diane Keaton Tribute with a discussion of the First Wives Club. And we're going to wrap that up today with a discussion of another great Diane Keaton movie. We're going to be discussing the remake of a remake of a remake, Father of the Bride.
Woo!
So, great classic movie. But yes.
I love this movie so much.
Well, I don't feel because so if you weren't here last week and heard the brief discussion on it, when Diane Keaton passed away last month, Amanda and I came to the understanding we needed to do a tribute because Diane Keaton is definitely somebody who is worthwhile of having at least a 1 week tribute, but it turned into 2 weeks because Amanda personally requested the First Wives Club, I personally requested Father of the Bride, and neither of the two of us was willing to give any ground on a compromise.
I
So
mean, we could have done a whole month. Look at this list, and those are just my favorites. So,
yeah,
yeah.
and
But here we
at,
are.
at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, I mean, spoiler alert for later in the episode, our top five list this week are going to be favorite Diane Keaton movies.
Yeah, I mean, we had to
So
do it.
so it's only fair. Um, but um, I think I did not come up with a special hilarious battle for us to do to torture the co-host us with.
Well, damn it. That's okay, though.
Uh yeah. I promise we'll do it next week though, because next week is going to get a little bit unhinged. But we'll get to that later in the episode as
I don't even know what's happening next week. So,
well. I know what it's supposed to be
Harry
next week.
Potter.
No,
Oh,
I haven't heard back from the other two yet on Harry Potter.
okay.
So we may be getting another break over the holiday. But we can discuss that off air. That yeah. So, Father of the Bride released on December 20th, 1991. It was directed by Charles Shire. It was released by Touchstone Pictures slash Buena Vista Pictures, and it had a budget of $20 million and made a whopping 129 million at the box office.
I contributed to that. That's one of the few movies I saw in the theater as a kid.
Yeah, well, I don't think I saw the original in the theater. I saw the sequel multiple times in the theater.
I was a little too young to fully understand it, but I did still enjoy it. But yeah, for those that don't know, I did not get to go to the movies as a child. It was a very rare thing for us until I got a little bit older. Um, but yeah, when I was a teenager and I had to pay for it myself, then it was okay. But yeah, it was one of the few movies I remember seeing in the theater.
This was about the 57th. Well, Father of the Bride 2 was like the 57,000th movie I'd seen in the theater. So, not judging though, but.
And Casey, I'm special. I didn't grow up on spam sandwiches and limited electricity.
Oh, the fuck, I didn't. I absolutely did.
We were too poor to go to the movies.
Which says a lot because movies were way cheaper back then than they are now.
Yeah. And then even when we weren't, that like my mom and stepdad, that just wasn't a thing they liked to do. So if I went to the movies, it was with friends or like something like that, or later on dates. It just wasn't a thing our family did. But when I was little, we couldn't afford it.
No, at least you have developed enough of an appreciation to where you can be on one of the greatest podcasts on the dark webs and discuss your love of movies each and every
Oh,
week.
I mean, to be fair, we had cable. We couldn't afford to go to the movies, but we had cable. Sometimes we got it for free because you used to be able to do that shit. Can't do it anymore. But yeah, I watched everything on cable. We got everything on videotape. We went to Blockbuster. Like, I watched a fuck ton of movies growing up because there was just nothing else to do. But we just didn't go to the theater.
Yeah, the preceding message was we do not condone stealing cable on an evening at the movies.
You can't do it anymore. It's all fiber and whatever. But
Well, yeah, that
used to
too.
be you could juke the cable and like, and if you knew somebody that worked at the cable company, they could come fix you up. We did that all through college because we couldn't afford cable. We always had someone who could, excuse me, sorry, stupid insulin pump yelling at me. We always had someone that could get us the free Cox cable in Oklahoma City. Cox. It was free Cox. Cox a million. Anyway, Father of the Bride.
In other words, Amanda's favorite kind of cocks.
Yeah.
So nice to know that this week it's not my CGM that's annoying everybody that's listening, and that it's the co-host Insulin Pump. So, all right.
Sorry.
I have a couple Rotten Tomato scores staring
Okay.
me right in the face. Would you like to attempt to wager a guess as to what you think Rotten Tomatoes gave this movie?
I'm not going to be super technical. I'm honestly just going to try to cover the spread because I think this movie is so well loved that I I don't feel like I have to try to get super technical. Because critics are critics. Although I don't know, because it's Steve Martin and Martin Short. Like, that's comedy gold. I'm going to go tomato meter 85 and popcorn meter 90. Anything less than that is unacceptable to me.
So, the tomato meter and the popcorn meter for this movie are exactly the same.
Interesting.
First time ever, I think, that we've ever had identical scores on an evening at the movies.
They better both
So,
be 100 then.
with that said, this movie got on both meters a 70%.
The fuck?
Uh,
70?
yeah. I would like to know why.
It's not like
Tomato
this
meter
movie
on
has
24
aged
reviews.
poorly. I mean,
No, it's a
people are tripping.
subject matter that definitely is just as relevant today as it was even what 60, 70 years ago, whatever, however long ago it was when the original came out.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not racist, it's not sexist, it's not homophobic, it's just all white, but that shouldn't alone give it 70%. What the fuck are these people smoking? Like,
Yeah,
this movie holds up really well, in my opinion, even though it is an older movie, you know. But what?
but I
Smoking
mean,
crack on Rotten Tomatoes.
it's it's definitely one of those. It's a generational because you have, I believe, the Spencer Tracy was in the original back in
Wow.
the black and white days. You have the Diane Keaton, Steve Martin, Martin Short um, reboot, and then God, I think it was like a year, 2 years ago that the Mouse did another reboot,
Yeah, I never watched that. But
and I think it was Andy Garcia plays the dad in that movie.
you mean the grandpa? Andy Garcia was the dad? Okay. Hey, I'm not knocking Andy Garcia. I've loved him since the 90s. I would hit that hard.
Well,
But
I mean,
he's grandpa age 2 or 3 years ago, let's be honest.
well, and Steve Martin was not that young either in 1991 when he was in this movie either. So
How old was he? Because I feel like, I mean, we can get into this. George and Nina Banks, I think, are supposed to be in their 30s, maybe early 40s, and they both look like they're at least 50. And it's like, that's just, but that's how it was back. Everybody looked older back then. I don't know what it was. Like, you watch all these movies where you got to think people playing those parents now would look like 20 years younger, except apparently not if they got Andy Garcia. I don't know.
so
Steve
this
Martin has always
movie,
looked old, I think. That's just my
the this movie released on December 20th, 1991. Steve Martin was born on August 14th, 1945.
Oh,
So
okay.
he
Almost 50.
literally just turned. Oh, oh, fuck! The maths are hard for me. 44,
Sure.
I think. I don't
Okay,
know.
so maybe George and Nina are supposed to be in their 40s. But in the
46.
90s, not many 40-year-old women had like a 7 or 8-year-old son.
Whoa! I mean, it wasn't very much longer after that. People in their damn 50s were having a goddamn newborn baby.
That's true.
I mean, therein lies the fun and hijinks behind the awesomeness that was Father of the Bride Part 2.
Yeah, that's true.
So, um, so yeah. And also, if you are interested and have not seen this movie, one, shame on you. This
Yeah.
movie is freaking amazing. Uh, two, it is currently available on the Disney Plus. But I will say this: uh, I'm not speaking for my co-host, but I'm speaking for myself. Fuck the mouse and fuck Hulu, and they're
Yeah.
fucking literally letting me get almost 87% of the way through Married with Children rewatch and taking Married with Children off of fucking Hulu. So, fuck you Disney and fuck you Hulu. So, but co-host, would you like
No,
to tell what?
fuck Disney for their stupid fucking posturing with YouTube TV, not coming to an agreement, getting rid of ESPN so that we can't watch all the sports we want. Do you know how many channels ESPN has? It's not just one. We can't watch any of our sports because part of them are on ABC too, which we also lost. So yeah, fuck you, Disney. Anyway,
I'm telling you, the massive takeover of Hollywood was supposed to quote unquote benefit the viewers and fans, and it's really just becoming one big fucking nightmare
yeah, it really
in
is.
my honest opinion. So, but my awesome
Okay.
co-host, would you like to tell the listeners and the viewers what this amazing movie is about?
Yes, but before I get to that, a few quick award nominations and such. For Father of the Bride, it was nominated. Actually, Martin Short was nominated for the American Comedy Awards for Best Supporting Actor.
As he
Um,
should be.
yes, it was nominated for 2 MTV Movie Awards. Best Breakthrough Performance for Kimberly Williams and Best Comedic Performance for Steve Martin. And then Kieran Culkin was nominated for the Young Artist Awards for Best Young Actor co-starring in a motion picture. And kudos for Kieran Culkin has just you think you thought he was going to go away, and now he's got this amazing career as an adult, and he's just such a great actor, and I just love him so much. So
Well, I mean, you could almost say the same thing about Data from the Goonies,
yeah,
because he was in a couple fairly big movies in the 80s and then literally disappeared out of Hollywood for what 30 years and then bam kicks the door down with Everything Everywhere All at Once and Academy Award later and he's back
yeah.
all over the place again.
Well, but I mean, Kieran Culkin was Succession. That was, since 2018. So if you watch Succession, he's been around for a while and he's phenomenal in that. But then now he's got, the Oscar from last year for crap, what was that movie? A Real Pain, which I still haven't watched, but I want to. But um and he's made a lot of little cameos and other stuff that you don't think of, like She's All That and Scott Pilgrim versus the World, but definitely like Home Alone, Father of the Bride. That's kind of where you like really like remember him from as a small kid. So
So I mean, at the same time, like Kieran Culkin, no offense to his older brother, has been the one of the two Culkin brothers that probably has had the most enduring Hollywood career,
Yeah, definitely.
where he kind of sort of disappeared out of the limelight, but he definitely has a wealth of more recognizable appearances than Macaulay did.
Yeah, I mean,
Macaulay
until
had
Succession, he
his
hadn't done
early,
much, but
yeah,
Succession really put him back on the map. And then now, he's starting to get like, I mean, he has an Oscar now. Like, fuck, you can't get mad about that. So,
no, I mean Matthew McConaughey has an Oscar too, so
well, Dallas Buyers Club was a fucking phenomenal movie. So,
well, and the way there, I mean Matthew McConaughey was literally just coming out of the McConaughey Renaissance
all
from
right, all right, all right.
from yeah the rom coms into
Yeah.
you know he really fucking reinvented himself at that point in his career. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, that's not what we're here to talk about, but we probably should cover Dallas Buyers Club one day because I
oh
mean,
god,
it's such an amazing story and it's based on a true story. And it's just,
well, and it was an incredible performance by everybody's all right, all right, all right.
and Jared Leto and
Yeah, what's her
Jennifer
face?
Garner, right? That's in that.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Like everybody in that movie does a great job. So anyway,
I, I was sitting here replaying the acceptance speech in my brain because the first thing he does was
yeah,
thank the director, Jared Leto, Jennifer Garner, blah blah blah, blah, and then mom, dad, my wife and kids, then go into the the
it was a
yeah.
great speech.
So all
Okay,
right, Father of the Bride plot.
Father of the Bride. All right. George Banks and his wife Nina are the proud parents of Annie, but when she wow, they just straight left out. Yeah, I can't remember his name, so he's not that important.
Maddie,
Maddie.
Maddie.
But when she returns from studying abroad and announces that she's engaged, their whole world turns upside down, especially that of the overprotective George. From meeting the in laws to wedding plans with an over the top consultant and his flamboyant assistant, it seems as if the troubles never end in this update of the classic Spencer Tracy comedy.
See, I was right. It is Spencer Tracy.
I didn't think you weren't right. I knew you were right.
I wasn't. I wasn't 100% sure, but you know.
Oh. You know what it kind of bums me out that so there's two people in this movie that didn't have the career I think they should have, and it bothers me. So we'll start with George Newbern first, who plays Brian. As soon as I saw him, I just remembered him from the guy I fell in love with in Adventures in Babysitting. But in both movies, he has relatively small parts, and then even a smaller part in Father of the Bride too. And then he just never really did anything. Now, I would refer to him as Timu Paul Rudd, but also that feels like an insult because he's still hot. But he's adorable. He's relatable. He was a good actor. Like I don't understand why
Yeah.
he never had a better career, especially after this movie. Like
No, because this movie is a great movie. Spoiler alert: it's gonna get a phenomenal score from me.
oh yeah,
But no, de- I have a feeling I know who the other person is. You're gonna say too, but
well, I'm sure you do.
um, no, both of them. If it's who I think it is, both of them were amazingly phenomenal in this movie.
Yeah, I
And
mean, so it's Kimberly Williams. How she did not
yeah,
become America's sweetheart after this movie, I will never understand. Like
well, she
she
married
should have
Brad
been
Paisley and
right, and
popped
they're
out of
they're just the most adorable couple. But like she was on According to Jim, which was a good show. I really liked it. It was funny, but
yeah.
she was a secondary character. But other than that, and she's done some Hallmark movies and stuff like that. But I feel like this movie in 1991, with her character, her age, her charisma, she should have taken off. Like, she should have been like Meg Ryan. Like, I don't know how her career did not just freaking take off. And I don't know if that's because she took some breaks or there was something, but she's beautiful. I would have killed for her hair. Sorry about that, guys. Fucking people. Her curls were just, I was so obsessed with. And she just, again, the same thing, relatable, funny. You want to watch her, like, you want to just see more of what. I don't understand how she did not just become a huge phenomenon in the 90s, but she really didn't. I mean, she
No,
did 2 Father of the Bride movies, and then the next thing I remember her in is, according to Jim, which was in the 2000s. I don't know
yeah,
that I've
that
seen
was
her in
early
anything
two
else
thousands.
except for, like I said, Hallmark or Lifetime. Like, I think she's done some of those Christmas movies. I wanna say Hallmark movies, but yeah, it bums me out because I
I
just feel like they both should have had great careers, and they really just kind of fizzled out.
I mean, I don't know. I agree with you 100%. Absolutely, I'm not disagreeing at all. Um, maybe settling down with Brad and the
Yeah,
fact that he's as successful as he is in the music industry, because Brad Paisley is no slouch when it
no,
comes to music.
he's an icon, and maybe she
Um,
had to follow him everywhere because I'd climb Brad Paisley like a tree, so I'm sure all the other ladies would too. That voice
I
and that face, damn.
maybe it's
It's
just
funny.
with the amount of success that he's had, she was more willing to just sit back and not focus as much on her career and be more of a
Okay, but
mom. I I
they
don't
didn't
know.
get
I'm just
married until
throwing
2000.
ideas out there.
No, I understand that sentiment. I fully could be on board with that, but they didn't get married till 2003. So why in the early to mid 90s was she not just raking in roles? Like,
Oh, I agree.
I don't get it. Again, to me, I would compare her to a Meg Ryan. Like, obviously, she doesn't have the same star power, but she's got that cute, adorable charm. She's pretty, but she's not like intimidatingly beautiful. She's relatable. You want to be friends with her. I wanted to be friends with Annie Banks. Like,
Yeah. Well, and
but I don't
I
know.
think she worked like with Steve Martin's level of comedic timing. You have to keep on track. You have to be at a certain level as an actor or an actress.
Yeah,
And I don't think she didn't meet that standard
I don't either.
in either of these two movies.
All the chemistry in this
Like,
movie is on point, like with all the actors.
yeah, I mean, they anybody in this movie that's not Steve Martin or Martin Short easily could have been overtaken by their comedic brilliance.
Right.
And I don't think anybody suffers performance wise in this movie.
I don't think so either. I mean,
So,
even like the in-laws, like the few parts that they have, god damn it. Like, one more month, people, and we won't have to listen to that anymore. I'm so sorry. Um, but I feel like everybody really holds their own in this movie. I mean, yeah, Steve Martin and Martin Short, and then Diane Keaton. I guess we'll call her the third most famous. But even their chemistry together is amazing. Like, her, they're just that you all feels like these people really know and like each other. And even with Steve Martin and Martin Short, like the whole George and Frank, you really feel that like antagonistic whatever, but like I don't know, this that's one of my favorite things about this movie, like it's just the overall chemistry of everybody in it. It flows and just feels natural. Like these feel like real
yeah,
people.
well, the, the relationship between George and Frank is so amazingly awesome. I mean, obviously, it's not the first time that they've worked together.
Right. Or the last.
Or, I mean, greatness would still come after this movie, and greatness happened before. But um,
We are the three amigos.
yeah, I'm not sitting in a position where I can do this amigo salute very well. So,
Oh, I can't do it either, but yeah.
but I mean, Steve Martin nails the whole, like, he really, like, Franck gets on his nerves, and it's like everything he does is like fingernails on the chalkboard,
Yeah.
and that progresses all the way through this movie into the early stages of part two. Yes, I understand we're not talking about part two, but that just the way those two work together and these two characters work, it, at one point, it, the walls come down, and you know he lets his guard down and lets Franck in, and they become, you know, scissoring.
Right, like he's almost part of the family, which is in the second one, obviously, because he's there to help with, the girls, because George accidentally takes too many sleeping pills, and then he's got to help get them to the hospital, and it's like, okay, he was their wedding planner. Like they could have easily just been another client to him, but yet, they happen
Yeah,
to run into each other, and then he does the nursery, and so it's cute to see how even though he's still annoying to George, Frank really comes through for their family when he didn't have to.
no, no,
But
and
yeah, that's the other
yeah,
movie.
like Amanda said, he does the baby suite. He does baby yoga with the pregnant moms, and oh my god, that race to the hospital in part two.
So funny.
Oh, we will have to discuss that movie at a later date. Hopefully, not
Yeah, I was
too later down the road, because
I was
I
hoping
love
we
that
could do
movie
them
so much.
both on this one, but I just don't. Yeah, not enough time. Okay, so
No, no, this is one of those ones that, yes, I do. I don't need a rewatch of part two, but I would enjoy a rematch of part two.
yeah, I
So,
agree.
all right. Um, I mean, short part of the discussion. Is there anything about this movie that you absolutely can't stand?
I mean, no. I think there's like little technical things while I'm watching it that I'm going, come on, that's not for real. But like for the most part, no. I don't think there's anything about this that I mean, no. It's just it's so funny and it's yeah, no. The answer is no. I can't even think of a single criticism. I was trying to and I
No.
can't. Okay, the only thing I will say that I think is super unrealistic for a movie about planning a wedding and having a wedding is that Annie rode to the church in her wedding dress. Nobody does that. So if I had to pick on one little thing, that would be it. And that's nothing. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. I mean, I've never gone through a wedding like that. I've been a part of a wedding before, but I've never had to, arrive at a wedding in a dress. So,
Yeah, that's a way to get it wrinkled or damaged or both. And yeah, you just
yeah, at the
sitting
price
down
of
in a
wedding dress.
petticoat is not easy in a
Yeah,
car.
I was gonna say, at the price of wedding dresses.
Yeah. I
No.
mean, if their cake was $1,200, how much do you think her dress cost? That's what I want to know. I love at the beginning when he's like, this wedding cost more than this house. I find that now, this is what I want to know is how much did they spend on that wedding? Because a $1,200 wedding cake in 1991, even in LA, feels like ridiculous, especially for wanting to have the reception at your house. Like,
Well, I
it,
mean, they
it
could have
just
had
feels
the wedding at
insane to me.
or they could have had the reception at the steak pit.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the other thing I guess I feel like is I think it's a little unrealistic to think that Annie wanted to have this reception at their house and that the original guest list was 500 people. Where the fuck are you going to put all those people? even with their backyard and like that whole the elaborate setup of that reception, any normal person would have had that at some kind of facility, not at their house.
Yeah.
But I get that it plays into the comedy of the movie because, you know, the whole, well, we need places for people to sit, so we're going to move all the furniture out. Well, why are you moving the furniture out? Well, we'll bring in chairs. Like, so I get that it's part of the comedy, but in real life, if you're spending $1,200 on a wedding cake, you're not having the reception at your family home unless it's on Cape Cod and it's like twice the size. You know what I mean? But other than that, I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, those are my only like nitpicky things, you know, but no, love this
No,
movie.
no, and this is definitely like I rewatched the movie in preparation
We're taking a little
for
walk. I apologize.
the movie, and I see a movie theater room,
It is. It's behind me.
and then I went back and rewatched it a second time, just specifically to try and find something about this movie that I could not stand.
There's nothing.
And no, there's nothing.
Literally
There's a,
nothing.
there's a ghost standing on the bridge behind you.
The fridge isn't by me, so
I
I'm
said
just
a
giving
ghost.
everybody a house tour before I move.
Well, I'm pretty sure I've already been on a tour of that house.
You're not everybody. Ooh, my eyebrows look non-existent right now. It looks weird. Okay, sorry.
Okay, Jada Pinkett.
So there's nothing that you don't like.
No, there really is. I mean, like I said, obviously, I haven't gone through the whole quote unquote being a father of the bride or even having my own wedding ceremony because I've never been married. So I can't necessarily relate in that aspect.
It's overrated.
But I mean, as far as the movie goes, though, it's well written, it's well acted, it's well directed. It's the timing is on par with what some of the greatest comedies of all time.
Definitely. I'm
You
sorry for
know,
all the movement. We're just gonna sit here.
well, it's probably easier for once you finish that glass off and you need another one. Since there's no Jeej in the house.
Yeah. Um.
So, I
So what
mean,
are your favorite, like, if you had to pick like three favorite scenes, what are your favorite scenes?
so I'm only going to give you two because I will let you bring up the third favorite scene because I know it's one that you want to talk about.
Okay.
Are you picking up the thought
I
waves that I'm
I
sending out there?
think so, but I don't care if you talk about it. Damn it.
Um,
There we go.
like so, most of my favorite scenes in this movie revolve around the manic meltdowns that Steve Martin has
Yeah.
going through this process. Like he pulls it off in a way that I don't think I was expecting the first time I sat down and watched the movie.
Oh yeah, he's so good at just having a complete crash out. I love it.
Yeah. Well, and like I said, I don't have kids, so I can't relate as a father, but and I've never been married before, so it's like but I can imagine if I was in that situation, I would probably be reacting in this situation the same way that
Yeah.
he's reacting as well. So
I mean, he makes it very relatable. He makes it easy for you to
he,
connect with what he's feeling, even if you've never experienced that.
yeah, like legitimately, I feel like I can relate to George Banks, even though I don't own a sneaker company. I don't have you know, I would guess in Southern California, $500,000 freaking house.
Yeah. That was my
You
one
know,
of my
like
dream houses. That house and the Home Alone house, like I wanted them so bad.
You know, I mean, to me, those are the same house, just one's in L.A. and one's in,
Yeah.
well, Father of the Bride's not in L.A. It's L.A. Light, but
Well, but it's that whole idyllic lifestyle that, growing up like I did, it's like, man, how nice would it have been to grow up,
mm,
upper middle to upper class, to have this beautiful home, to have this family, that loves me so much, that's successful. They probably have these beautiful holidays, to go study abroad and come home and still have your childhood bedroom waiting for you, and like just have this family that loves you so much. And it's like when she comes home immediately, George is like, okay, we're gonna go see Paul Simon. Okay, who wants to go to a Lakers game? Like, yes, he's overprotective and overbearing and a bit of a cheapskate, but he's also this super involved dad, which I think was a nice change for some of the stuff we had in the 90s and the 80s, where
yeah.
dads just weren't like that. Like
Well,
George
I
Bailey's
mean,
an amazing dad.
is he a cheapskate though? I mean, his wife and
No,
daughter
he's
want
not.
want, want to
But
spend $1,200 on a wedding cake, and to
no,
quote George Banks, a cake is
wrong.
flour and water.
Not okay, not that, but I guess what I'm getting at, and it's maybe because he's a man and doesn't remember his own wedding, but he is not wrapping his mind around that a wedding is a big deal. When she says, I want to have the
Yeah,
reception here, he's picturing her in a little girl dress with a little flower crown and him at the
yeah.
grill. Like, that's not a wedding, George. And so that comes across as him being cheap, but maybe it's not the cheap thing, it's just simple minded. Like, or maybe it's both.
I don't. Well,
I
I
don't
mean,
think he was thinking about money in that moment. So
I
you're
don't
right.
think it's cheap. I think you could interpret it as being cheap, but I also think part of the nuance of that character, though, is the fact that he doesn't like change,
Oh yeah, for sure.
and
For
he's absolutely 100% not ready to let go of his 22-year-old daughter
sure. Right.
and let her become an adult because you know. And I get it because at this point, that's when your kids start becoming adults that you have to start wrapping your brain around the fact that you're not getting any younger either.
Well, and I can definitely attest to that. It's hard. It's hard to let them go. It's hard to, not want to watch them closely all the time because you can't, because they're adults. I mean, my child doesn't even live in the same state as me anymore. And it's like, if I could, I'd want to know what she's doing every single day. I'd want to know that she gets up in the morning and gets to work on time, and that if she goes out, like last night, she went to a
Yeah.
concert, and I'm like texting her, "Did you make it home safe?" And I didn't hear anything till this morning. Like when she lived here, I'd be losing my mind. And yeah, it is hard to break free from that, like protectiveness that you have over your kids. So that totally, I totally understand that. It's just the whole, like, his mind is so simple. Like a wedding reception is a backyard barbecue. Like, George, no. And I'm glad Nina calls him out on it. She's like, everybody seems to get that this is a big deal except you. Like, crepe paper and balloons and you in a chef's apron. That's funny. Oh, you're muted again, buddy. And Brandy's here in the comments. Hey, Brandy. Brandy says parenting adult, in quotations, parenting adult kids is hard. And that is true, because even though they are technically adults, are they really? Are they really? Like, see, and now my dog wants to go out. It's good. I'm down here. I mean,
Homie!
motherfucker. I've talked about this before, and I'll say it again. America is one of the few like civilized countries in the world that basically says you're 18 years old, go out on your own and experience life.
Yeah.
18 might be legally an adult, but mentally you are not an adult at 18. Like, let's be honest. Like, frontal cortex isn't even fully developed yet.
And Brandy would agree with you.
I'm sorry, I
So
just made a mess, so excuse the noise for a second. So yeah,
Brandy
it's
said,
definitely
"No,
difficult.
they aren't."
And yeah, George is definitely crashing out over not being able to. But also, I like, during the wedding where he's like, he's suddenly realizing I'm not gonna wake up with her at the breakfast table. I'm not gonna see her slide down the staircase. Like he's thinking about all these things that are never gonna happen again. And then he says, something inside started to hurt. That part really gets me because it's true.
Yeah,
Like when I realized my daughters moved out, and even with all the issues we've had, like it is a huge change and it does hurt because it's like you're losing a piece of yourself and you have no control over what happens to it. You just have to
yeah.
go along for the ride. So
The joys of growing up and getting old.
okay, so what other parts were you going to mention? I just mentioned one of mine, so that was one of mine.
So, like the main thing that I love about this movie is, like I said, the meltdowns, and that kind of sort of bleeds into my other favorite ish scene being George having a meltdown and needing to go for a drive, and Nina pulls him aside and says, "Hey, if you're going for a drive, mind taking a drive to the grocery store and getting stuff for dinner?" And
Nina should have known better.
yes,
Nina knows him so well. She should have known a grocery store was the last place he needed to be.
yeah.
Um,
What for those of you who have seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. But I will let my awesome co-host finish discussing what happens once he arrives at the grocery store because what ensues, chef's kiss.
yeah, I mean,
Comedic
I
ability
think
is
sorry, I think if you ask most people, you mention a hot dog bun scene or even a hot dog scene, most people know exactly what you're talking about. It's the hot dog
yeah.
bun fiasco in the grocery store. Like, and this is true, and they don't do this anymore. The bun company and the wiener company, as he calls it, have finally figured their shit out. But yeah, you get what is it? 12 buns and 8 hot dogs. And he's like, I'm not paying for one more thing I don't need. And he's like losing his shit. He's like, I only have 8 hot dogs. I only need eight hot dog buns. So I'm removing the superfluous buns. And he's literally pulling the hot dog buns out. And the poor grocery kid, he's like, you still have to pay for them all. They're not priced individually.
So
George Banks is not paying for one more thing he doesn't need. Who is George Banks? Me.
so did you happen to notice who plays the grocery store kid?
Yes, and I couldn't remember his name.
Will, the Wizard Master.
That's right. I recognize his voice, but I couldn't remember where it was from. I am the Wizard Master. That poor kid. But like I said last week, this movie gave me a love. I love words. I'm a nerd for the English language or any language, but English is what I understand. The word superfluous became one of my favorite words because of this movie. It's just such a great word. And for him to throw that,
I've used that word more in
four
the
four
last
syllable word into his meltdown is just top tier. Mwah, chef's kiss.
I've used that word more in the last week than I think I have in the last 10 years.
That's funny.
I'm removing the superfluous funds.
Hi,
So,
Griffey. Casey's dog is here. Hi, Griffey.
ow, he's not
What a
cooperating.
big
No,
boy.
he is, and he won't freaking calm down.
And
So,
then I think so. Going from that scene to the jail scene, that is another one of my favorite scenes because you know, it, through all of this, Nina is really just putting up with his shit because she knows he's extra. She knows he doesn't like change. She knows he's over dramatic. He's an overreactor.
Mhm.
But at this point, she's fed up. And, she basically lays down the law. She's like, look, George, I love you, but this is a wedding. It's not a conspiracy against you. It's a wedding. People have them every day all over the world. And then, she makes him repeat the whole thing. And she gets to the part where she's like, realize that with every roll of my eye, I am taking away a piece of my daughter's happiness. And that's when it really like slaps him in the face that he's like, because it kind of hits him when he finds her on the couch reading the magazine about, ways to save money on a wedding. But I think, unfortunately, it took a jail stint to really slap him in the face.
Well,
But
I mean,
she finally has to lay it on the line for him and say, dude, you're the adult. Get your fucking shit together and stop ruining this for your daughter.
so spoiler alert, if it was me as a father, I would appreciate the fact that my daughter was researching ways to have a cheap wedding.
Right.
Very much
Yeah,
so.
but it made him sad. I
But
mean,
at the same time, the Banks family can afford a damn. Would you stop, please? Can afford a freaking wedding.
and that's what Nina says. We don't travel. I don't own nice jewelry. We don't have fancy cars. We can give our daughter a beautiful wedding. Now,
Yeah.
did they probably spend more money than they needed to? Sure. Yeah, they did. Nobody needs a $1,200 wedding cake. So I'm
Did
with
you see
George
the
on some of
parking
it.
situation outside their house?
Yeah. That was the other thing. I was like, where did they think all these 500 people? Well, I know they got it down to 200, I think. They didn't get it down to 150, right? Or did they? I can't remember.
I don't.
Either way, we're
I know they. I know they cut some people out, but
let's
I
just
don't.
call it 80 because some people probably rode together. We're gonna park 80 cars, but whatever. I love when he's like, we are cutting this guest list because for the four of us to attend this wedding in our own home is going to cost $1,000. Like, they don't charge you for the bride and groom. Come on now. Or maybe they do.
Oh,
I
they
guess.
don't charge you for the bride and groom. Okay, so $750 then.
Yeah. Um, but I like that Nina is the voice of reason, but she knows how to handle him. Like, when she's doing the dishes and he's just going off, she's just like, she could have easily been like, George, get the fuck out of my face. Leave me alone. Like, and she was just like, just go. She was very calmly like, go upstairs, go away, go to blah, 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 blah. And you could tell she's about to have her own crash out, but she can't because she's got to coddle her husband.
Somebody ha- somebody has to be freaking the sane voice of reason.
Yeah. And I
So
really love, like, going back to that jail scene when she says that part to him and he's just like, I love you. Like, the way he said that, like, I fell in love with Steve Martin. Like, I wish Kendra was here because we know how much she loves Steve Martin, but the way he said, I love you, and he has this whole realization and just kind of like changes. I was like, okay, I'm in love with him now. But she's like, no, no, you're
spoiler,
not getting away from it that easy. Repeat that part.
spoiler alert. This week and last week we talked about two of Kendra's all-time favorite movies. So
That's true. So, yeah,
the idea was out there, but Kendra is a busy woman.
I
So
know. And then I think my last, I don't know if you had another one, but I think my last favorite part, it's again like the jail scene where, George takes Brian out for drinks and he's like, this is my opportunity to sabotage this whole thing. And then he realizes him and Annie are the same and Nina and Brian are the same and they're perfect for each other. And he's like, well, God damn it, I guess I got to help make this work.
because at the end of the day, he's got a good guy to be a son-in-law,
Right.
and he just has to accept it, even if you know a couple years down the road, you know they're going to announce that Annie's pregnant, and
Move
all of a
across the
sudden
country.
George is back to seeing him as a yeah.
I love the images he has where he's like picturing him like a smarmy guy with a mustache and like a beret or whatever. So funny.
So, yeah, this everything about these movies is just insanely great, and I can't honestly wait to talk about the second one again.
Yeah.
And I would even be willing to talk about this one again if we can get a time where, like Kendra could
Yeah.
join us, because I feel like she would have some awesome insights as to her thoughts and feelings on this movie as well.
I think on that one we should just throw both of them together and we can just like we can cross talk about both movies and it'll be fine cuz like yeah. I love in
Yeah.
the second one when they're staying at the Mackenzie's house to house sit and the dogs sleep in the bed with Nina and George has to sleep on the floor. He tries to go and give her a hug and they growl at him. So funny. So yeah.
So, Brandy has the ultimate answer. The kids figured out where to put all the cars.
Yeah, they did. They were so excited. Where are we going to get 2 extra parking attendants? Dun dun dun. Here you go, 8-year-olds. Drive these people's cars. Have fun. um. So yeah.
So
All
yeah,
right.
do
Oh,
you have?
hold on.
Go ahead.
We cannot forget to mention Eugene Levy as the wedding singer.
Well, I mean,
Oh,
he's. I mean, spoiler alert too. I mean, he's in part two as well.
yeah. His 30 whole seconds in this movie was still amazing because he's just amazing at everything he does.
Volare. Whoa! No,
Oh,
we're not.
no.
We're not getting
Love's
kicked.
giving her wings. Okay, that was it.
Oh,
Top 5. Is
Eugene,
that where you're going?
yes, but Eugene Levy is just a
Classic.
very overlooked comedic genius.
Yes. I'm so happy that he got Schitt's Creek to really show. I mean, because he's been in a lot of movies, but he's always a secondary character. And so I was glad, that Schitt's Creek really gave him the chance to just like show everybody what he can do because he's amazing.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got to see a lot of that in American Pie, but if that
Right.
kind of raunchy humor isn't your cup of tea, you wouldn't necessarily check it out and get to see how much of a genius comic he can be.
If you're
So,
watching and you've never watched Schitt's Creek, um, Google the scene about writing it off. Like literally, if you just type in Schitt's Creek, writing it off, you will get this scene about him and David talking about writing stuff off for the business. And it is one of the funniest scenes ever in the series. And Eugene Levy is just amazing in it. I mean, they
well,
both are. Obviously, they're father and son, and their chemistry and comedic timing is great. But so many good
yeah.
scenes in that show, but that's one of my favorites between the two of them. So okay, so top 5 Diane Keaton movies. My top
Yes.
5 is upstairs, but I think I have it memorized. I won't say honorable mentions because I know you have to do yours, but I'm sure we can talk after. Um, crap. What was my top 5? Okay, so my number 5, I believe, was The Family Stone. Love that movie. She's hilarious in it. I love how open she is with her adult kids and just talking about, you know, that family is kind of like my family where we're all kind of raunchy and just open and just kind of say whatever's on our mind. And, it's just that movie makes you very uncomfortable at a
The
lot of
hell you
moments.
say?
But exactly. But it's also just an incredible, incredible movie. My number 4 is going to be The Godfather Part 2. I could lump all 3 Godfather movies in together, but I feel like 2 was really her best. First of all, she had more screen time. She barely has any in the first one, but part 2 was really like her, you know, Kay really figures out her own life and realizes she doesn't want this life for her kids. And, the scene between her and Michael when she talks about she had an abortion is just like epic. Like, so if I had to pick one of them, we could say the whole Godfather franchise, but I'm going to say part two because I just think it's the best. Number three is an oldie but a goodie, Baby Boom. If you haven't seen Baby Boom, highly recommend. My mom loved it, so it's something I watched a lot growing up. But basically, this high-powered businesswoman, her, I can't remember, I think it's her sister. I can't remember who it is that dies, and basically gives her custody of the baby, and she has no idea. And so she's all of a sudden having to figure out how to live with a baby, and then she like moves to Vermont, and falls in love and starts making baby food, and it's just a great feel-good story. Oh, okay. Number two and number one could easily interchange, but oh, Brandy just said it's her cousin who dies. Okay, thank you, Brandy. Haven't seen it in a while, so I couldn't remember. It's really close, but for number two, I'm gonna go Father of the Bride series. I'm putting part one and two together. They just go together. She's great as Nina Banks. Love her. But number one has to be the First Wives Club. I mean, just the way that her character comes out of her shell, and just we talked about it last week, but um just an amazing role for Diane Keaton. So yeah, that's it. After you do yours, if you don't mention any of my honorable mentions, I'll tell you what they are, because there was a couple that are really close.
So, spoiler alert: my top five is 80% the same as yours.
Okay.
So,
Also, don't come at me at the comments for not mentioning Annie Hall. I think that movie is highly overrated. I love Diane Keaton, but I hate Woody Allen, and that movie annoys me.
yeah, I tended to leave the Woody Allen stuff
Yeah.
off my list because it's Woody Allen. So,
Yeah.
um, all right. So my number five is going to be Because I Said So.
Okay. That's a good one. Wait,
Um,
she's in Because I Said So? I forgot about that. Okay. I was thinking a different movie.
Number four is Baby Boom.
Yeah. Classic.
Um, now we get to the Sophie's Choice portion of my top five because
Right?
again, like legitimately, when you and I discussed this, when we came up with the idea for the tribute, was can you hear him?
Yes. Yo, baby.
Well, luckily he can't hear you. Otherwise, he'd be literally 100 times worse than what he's being right now. So,
So, do you want me to tell you how I made that decision?
well, you can.
Well, the reason that my number one is my number one over number two, and I know you're still considering another one, is I picked the movie that was more Diane heavy to be my number one, and kind of went in that order.
So that pretty much was the idea that I tried to come up with. Because to me, okay, so my number three movie is not a Diane Keaton movie at all by any stretch of the imagination. It's a Corleone family
Right.
movie, but
And
yes,
that's why that was so low on my
she
list.
she is married to Michael and all of that, and technically by marriage a Corleone, but it's more uh, everybody else. It's the male portion of the family centric, at least
Right.
until part at least until part three.
Yeah.
So number two is going to be Father of the Bride 1 and 2 because again, not specifically a Diane Keaton movie.
Right.
but still, uh, yeah, great performance, and she delivers in every way possible. But it's both of those. I mean, I think it becomes a little more Diane heavy in part two
Yeah.
due to the fact that she's having a baby. But yeah, it's still more
It's
a
more of an ensemble cast, which
yeah,
technically the part one or number one of our choice is two, but it's a small ensemble and they get pretty much equal time.
yeah. And then obviously number one is going to be First Wives Club. Not that that's not ensemble, but
You
each
don't
one of the
know me.
each one of the three of them has a significant role to play in that plot, and they all three deliver in monumental
Yeah.
ways.
I
So
mean, really, other than Baby Boom, most of the movies of hers that I love are ensembles. I mean, The
yeah,
Family Stone, Father of the Bride, First Wives Club. I mean, Baby Boom is really, she's the star. One of my honorable mentions was Hanging Up. That's another ensemble, but it's very similar to First Wives Club, where it's like a
mhm.
three sister kind of deal, and they get, Hanging Up's amazing if you haven't seen it. Something's got to give, another ensemble, like, you know. Um, and then my other honorable mention was The Other Sister, which really
Oh
isn't an ensemble because Juliette Lewis is really kind of the star, but it's still kind of an ensemble. But she's really good in that movie too. So
so yeah, so very similar lists between the two
yeah,
of us, and no offense to Miss Keaton, but yeah, phenomenal actress, and
yes,
definitely 100% she will be missed, and unfortunately, yeah.
yeah, it's sad.
So rest in peace, Diane.
I'm
But
glad we have her amazing movies to remember her by. But
yes,
now I might go watch The Family Stone. I That movie is so good, even though it makes me really uncomfortable. And I forgot to mention last week, which we talked about, I loved that her and Sarah Jessica Parker are in this together. And we also forgot to
yeah.
mention Sarah Jessica Parker and Bette Midler in Hocus Pocus.
Amok, 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 amok.
So clearly they both liked her, even though she had to tell a fat joke to Bette Midler. Clearly,
Yeah, I don't think I could do that.
Oh no, no, I could not. I would want to die.
Bet, well, for one, Bette Midler is an icon. Two, Bette Midler is a freaking badass that
Yeah.
I'm afraid would literally beat my ass.
Right.
So,
So,
all right.
all
So
right.
if you were going to give this movie a ranking out of five, I know what you're going to say because we already
Yeah.
talked about it, but I knew before we even talked about it what you were going to say. But what would you give this movie?
Um, like we've already said, there is nothing I don't like about this movie. It is such a feel-good comedy. It's heartwarming. It gives you just like all the good feelings, even though there's like one or two little kind of dramatic parts, it's all going to turn out okay. Um, the score is great, quintessential 90s score. Um, Great storytelling, great chemistry, great pacing. Love everything about it. It's 5 out of 5 superfluous hot dog buns for me.
Even before I brought that up today, I knew that's exactly what you
I
were going to want to go with.
Well, so the thing is, I figured you would know that's what I was going to say, but also if you don't want me to get my way, then you have to go first because I was going to say it whether or not you wanted me to.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah,
Or buddy.
we're almost done, and then you can go whatever you need, you can have. Um, so yeah, like Amanda said, though, this movie is amazing in every way possible. It's
Well, wait,
well
does he need
acted.
to go to the bathroom? Because if he needs to go to the bathroom, take him
No,
outside. Okay.
no, he literally just came in right before he came in here, so he's fine. he just likes to whine and cry and get attention.
Because
Um,
he's so
so yeah,
pretty. That's
I'm
a
glad
pretty
he can't.
boy.
I'm glad he can't hear you because he doesn't need his ego inflated any more than it already is. Um, so it's well acted, it's well directed, it's well written, it's well paced, it's everything that you want in a great movie and more. Um, it's relatable in every. I mean, how can you not? Even as a guy that okay, I don't like watching chick flick, but it's still something that you can relate to because in some way, shape, or form, you're going to have a lot of the same feelings and emotions that George is going through at some point in your life.
Yeah.
So, I mean, luckily, I'm one of those people that I will watch a chick flick, but you know,
Well, and it's a chick flick, but it's Steve Martin heavy enough and comedic enough that it's not like a complete
mhm.
sappy ass rom com whatever. Like Steve Martin provides
I
enough
look
comedic relief that
I look at it more as a family movie.
yeah, it's definitely a family movie.
So, yeah, I'm going to go uh, 5 out of 5 bedazzled sidekicks.
Nice. Yeah, those shoes were
So
adorable.
for those of you, yeah, for those of you who don't know, that Sidekicks is the shoe company that George owns, and he has his people make Annie's wedding shoes out of a pair of sneakers. So
I don't think he had them do that. I think they did that as a surprise for him.
okay, well, either way,
But well, no, I don't know, but that's just the way I took it.
it it could be.
Okay, sorry.
We're almost done. I have to just do the coming soon, and then we'll be done. So yeah, great movie. If you guys seriously have not seen this movie and you sat here for the last hour and 12 minutes and listened to us rant and rave about it, I highly recommend you go see it. It is so choice.
It's so funny. So heartwarming.
And then when you're done with that, let Disney Plus take you right into Father of the Bride 2 and watch that because again, the margin of space in between these two movies and on the quality meter is like I don't think you could get a sheet of paper through
Yeah,
the gap.
it's very very close.
So
As sequels go, it's very very close to the original.
very there's very few times that sequels rise to that level. So um but yeah. So lots of fun. Um definitely like we said though, rest in peace Diane Keaton.
Yes.
Uh you will be greatly missed. I would be remiss though if I did not thank our amazing unpopped colonels for being here each and every week with us. You
Woo!
guys are incredible. You are patient with us, even though Donald Trump tried to screw us this week out of your new episode day.
What hasn't he tried to screw us out of?
Well,
All right, sorry, I'll stop.
supposedly he's sending every American $2,000.
You know what? Send my $2,000 to the SNAP recipients who aren't getting their money.
I would 100% agree. But
But
so
also, where's my Doge check? Yeah.
again, yeah.
Yeah.
So coming up next on an evening at the movies, because Amanda doesn't seem to remember that we're recasting the past next week.
That's right. I forgot. Okay.
Um,
Oh my
so
God.
we need to have a conversation with Shanna and decide which characters we are recasting from Rosemary's Baby, and we will be here next week for that. Um, and then, as long as I can get a response from Jen and Chris, we will be here in 2 weeks with our wrap up of the Harry Potter franchise.
Heck yeah.
So,
I guess I need to watch it again.
really quickly though, we are working on putting the lineup together for Holiday Ho 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 Fest. So stay tuned for that. I will give that to you guys next week.
Send in
Also,
your recommendations for my birthday movie. I gotta pick it soon.
yeah, because I need to have a lineup because her birthday is like 3 weeks away, and if I need to rewatch a movie, I need to know what I'm rewatching.
I will
So,
decide by the end of this week. So if you have recommendations, you can find us on Facebook. You can find us on X/Twitter. You can find us wherever. But the only requirements are that it is not a bummer. So it has to be funny. It has to be a comedy. It could be a horror comedy, but it's got to be a comedy. Other than that, I'm pretty open.
doesn't even have to be a doesn't even have to be a holiday movie.
No, I mean I sometimes do a holiday movie, but no, it doesn't have to be holiday. It just has to be something funny that Amanda can have a gummy and we can get a couple of guests or at least one guest and have some fun with.
Yay! We like having fun on an evening at the movies. So, the last announcement though that I was going to make really quickly. Um, so coming up on February 10th, an evening at the movies will be turning 5 years old,
Whoop, whoop.
and I came up with the idea that instead of discussing a movie for the anniversary episode, from now on we're going to do award show
Oh yeah.
on the episode, and we'll be giving out icon awards. As for those of you who don't know, icons on an evening at the movies are basically our equivalency of the evening at the movies Hall of Fame. So we have real life icons that have had an impact on the show. We have celebrity icons that we have iconized in the past. So we will honor celebrities, and we will continue to honor celebrities and continue to honor the real life people who have had an impact on the podcast. But it's just a way to get a lot of people involved. And I'm give me 2 seconds and we'll be done. Um, all the fun, all the celebration, all of that, and just a way to just sit back and have fun and
Heck yeah.
maybe maybe get dressed up, maybe not. I don't know.
Well, I thought you meant our honorary Oscars or whatever, so we still have to find a time to do that because I
Well,
will be dressing up for that.
yeah, we can still do that too. But
Okay.
so, but
All
yeah,
right. Well, let's get
that's
out of
what's
here
coming
so
up.
your dog can
Yeah,
get whatever it is that he is whining for.
he's about done being on camera right now.
Who's a
So,
good boy? Griffey's such a good boy. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You can't hear me, but you're such
well,
a good boy. Okay.
okay, hold on.
Well, I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Griffey, can you hear me? Hi, Griffey. Hi, Griffey. Are you a good boy? Are you a good boy? Yes, you are. I know you can see me and you can hear me. Who's a good boy? You're such a good boy. You're so pretty. You're so handsome. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Oh, I can just reach out and pet you. Okay, sorry. If you're not watching, you can't see, but he's looking right at me. Who's a good boy? Okay, I have to stop. Thank you everybody for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed this episode. If you haven't seen a lot of these Diane Keaton movies, we highly recommend you go watch them. They're good times. Thanks for being here, and we hope you all come back for an evening at the movies. Goodbye. Bye, Griffey. Bye, buddy. Bye, buddy.